Hey guys, it's Andrew with Darkhorse Motor Company. I'm here with one of our owners here, John Dahmer.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing well.
Excellent. Today we're here talking a little bit about our connecting rods. I've been getting a lot of phone calls in regards to our new premium connecting rod and what makes it so special. I know that they're chromoly H-beam. As far as that goes, I know that we did a lot of developing, so why don't you take over there, John, and tell us what they're about.
Yeah. So I believe, as many of you know, we've been doing this gig for a while, and we spent a lot of time in R&D to get our new premium connecting rods right. We looked at a number of different things. I guess first of all, integrity, right? That's what our company is built on, and I don't think it's any secret we put that into all of our products. One of the things that we had found was through the first number of years dealing with M8s, we produce a lot of power. M8 package platform is really a pretty powerful piece. So we found that the big end of the connecting rod was very important, and we designed a few features into it to really give it longevity and integrity that we wanted. I don't think it's any secret we do a lot of engines in the King of the Bagger series. We do a lot of engines.
Yep.
We do a lot of drag racing
Yep.
engines, and we wanted to make darn sure that we had a piece that could sustain the horsepower that a lot of these race bikes are developing. Mm-hmm. But race can be different than, of course, street.
Right.
And we certainly wanted something that was going to provide our customers with street value.
You saying that, now I get questions a lot, are they worth it? Is it something that the end user or the customer is going to need even on a street bike? I get that question all the time. Yeah,
well, so, I mean, I think a number of us have seen the videos of connecting rods standing straight up in a set of cases.
Yep.
Really, that comes down to, and the engine is running, right?
Right.
They go, how can it need connecting rods or how can it need service? I brought the bike in and it was running.
It was running.
All I wanted was a set of pistons, big bore, something like that. Well, really what that comes down to is how round the big end of the rod is, right? Mm-hmm. So we always talk about 12 and 6, mm-hmm. And then 3 and 9 as far as how it's clocked on the connecting rod. Mm-hmm. If the small end, it would be 12 o'clock, 12 and 6, right. And of course 9 and 3. And what ends up happening in high horsepower output stuff is this gets elongated, but when this gets elongated, then the 3 and 9 o'clock end up
squeezing,
pinching.
If you will.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
So that's what ends up happening. The rod is out of round, mm-hmm. and now we can do a number of different things. Of course, you know that we can hone the rods mm-hmm. round again and make them serviceable in an OE type application. That's all well and good, but we really wanted to address our premium H-beam rods that they would give the longest life and stay round as long as possible.
Stay round as long as, yeah, okay.
And that's not an easy task. Mm-hmm. And really it comes down to the integrity, the big end integrity, a hardened race that we've developed over the years. But we also, I think there's been a little bit of a trend to get this end really light, and then you lose integrity.
Yeah, we've seen that in some different setups.
You lose integrity when you start doing that. Mm-hmm. One of the key pieces actually that we've learned over the years is actually this area of the connecting rod is key. Mm-hmm. 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock mm-hmm. is where actually factory engineers have found that you need the most integrity. So if you look at our premium rod compared mm-hmm. to just about any other rod that's on the market mm-hmm. right now, we have more material right here to support that big end staying round longer.
Now, with that being said, they are going to be heavier. Does the weight in the rod really affect the overall performance of of the build of the bike?
Well, in a street bike application, it's so minimal you will never find it.
Right.
Race bike applications, I get it, right? And different racing endeavors certainly can demand a different type of build that we do.
Sure. So like drag racing is going to be way different than road racing.
Correct.
Okay.
And drag racers as a whole, some of them want them light, some of them want them heavier. We tailor that to the specific build and the racer. Land speed stuff, we actually add weight. I don't know
I haven't experienced any of that yet since I've been here. So
yeah, we've done that. Well, we had a record this year actually with Blazer Performance.
Yes.
But in the big scheme of things, we learned that from Ron Dickey and Don Tilley. I mean, and that goes back quite a ways. I don't know how many guys know these guys. Ron Dickey was the owner of Axtel for many years. A really good dude and a good friend of mine.
Yep.
He has since sold Axtel. Don Tilley was an icon,
right?
A legend in road racing.
Yes.
Another good friend of mine. We battled down at Daytona many years in a row. Did a lot of Buell stuff. Anyways,
right.
Road racing, light flywheels. You want it to spin up faster. You want it to get that grunt out of the corner and be able to get there. Land speed again. You have 5 miles to make up that time.
Right.
So the heavier the flywheel weight certainly helps you carry through. So
now with that, did we do anything different with the big end of the small end of the rod? Excuse me.
We did. So the key to good balance is really having the reciprocating end of the connecting rod. Of course, the reciprocating end in balance factors, there's an equation that, of course, we do when we're balancing, and we actually weigh the top half of the rod and the bottom half of the rod. There isn't a lot you can do with the bottom half of the rod as far as making the weight, because, of course, you have a female rod, you have a male rod. The weight is considerably different. But that's in the rotating mass, of course, versus the reciprocating mass. And what we did, and I don't know if the camera can see this so much, but the cutout for the H-beam is actually different between these two because the male rod is inherently a little bit lighter on the top half than the female rod. So we added weight in this portion so that we could get these two rods as equal as possible within a couple of grams on the top half of that rod. That's something that a lot of people don't notice.
Right.
A lot of rods are just the same up here. Some guys try to manipulate the top half of the rod. Now you're taking away integrity again, so that causes some issues, right? But there's a lot of engineering that went into the top half of the rod and the bottom half of this rod to make it the best product that we could make it.
You know, and I'm really happy with the results and the customer feedback that I get on a daily basis when it comes to these rods. You know, they're extremely cost effective and they're strong and durable. It's just really been awesome to have these available to us now.
And at a reasonable cost.
At a reasonable cost, so, absolutely.
It's what really has set us apart in this market as far as the crankshafts go and our man of war package as far as the bottom ends.
Right. So, all right. Well, that's all we got today about our rods. We are going to be back. We're going to talk a little bit more about our crank pins that we manufacture here in-house. Also going to be talking about our bearings as well. So stay tuned. We'll have some more for you.